What's up, everybody? Dalton Miller back here with some more bodybuilding news. And honestly, this is more of an appreciation video than anything else. I wanted to appreciate bodybuilding and the athletes specifically in bodybuilding, partially because they aren't paid through their sport the way that other professional athletes are. But the access that we get into the daily lives, into the preps, into the off seasons, into the mental side of things with professional bodybuilders is outstanding. And when we have Martin Fitzwater doing 14 days out, a vlog every single day of his process over the last 2 weeks of his prep is ridiculous. To get Nick Walker's car talks all of the time is insane. And it is amazing that we get this sort of access with these athletes. And I wanted to bring that up. I wanted to bring up the way that Martin's looking in his videos, in his training videos, the way that he is training, even 2 weeks out from the Pittsburgh Pro. I wanted to talk about Terrance Ruffin's ascension, or should be ascension, in social media as he gets on different social media platforms. And then finally, we need to talk about Keone. We need to talk about the Pittsburgh Pro. We need to talk about guest posing. Let's get into it.
Upper body looks like, especially after training legs.
Yeah, I was going to say you were
I thought you were going to be super flat.
full up top still. And the amount of detail you have with the, I know a leg pump's impressive. I had lunch with Ben a couple weeks ago and he was telling me how much your legs had come up. He was not wrong.
Currently, the lowest I've been is about 243 and some change, and probably be right in there today again. So yesterday I was 234 and a little bit of change. Day before that I was like 235, so we're trending back down.
This is how you know he is deep into prep. He was 243 and he was talking about being 234, 235. And that is prep brain, because he definitely meant that he was 245, 244, and he's trending back down to 243 now.
You guys know on the Olympia stage I was about 235, so up about 10 pounds in there somewhere, depending on where we fed up. And I'm ready. I'm definitely in the same condition I was for the Olympia, but we're going to push and reach some new levels and some new heights.
I know that we have been somewhat reluctant with the way that we feel Marty has looked when we have seen him. I mean, when we saw him at guest posing, he looked a little bit tired, but if he legitimately comes in with 10 more pounds with the same conditioning, with the same structure that he has, he could be legitimately dangerous in Pittsburgh, even though he is outweighed by Nick Walker by about 40 pounds and the shape of Derek Lunsford is fantastic. Fitzy has that old school flow to him. And with 10 more pounds of stage weight, he could look freaky. And he looked great on that Olympia stage when he finished fourth. But let me know if you think that he's going to come in with 10 more pounds of stage weight. Do you think that he has a chance, at least, to compete with the top two? Or is he pretty locked into that third place spot, even if he brings his best package at 10 plus pounds of stage weight? Next up on the docket of We Are Blessed as Bodybuilding Fans, Terrance Ruffin has finally taken to social media a little bit. I think that he's listened a little bit to Chris Bumstead. I think he's listened to the people around him and seen the impact that somebody with his intelligence level, with somebody that thinks the way that he does and is able to articulate himself the way that he does, is finally finding the value in getting himself and his face and his voice, his personal voice, in the social media realm. Because I think he is one of the most interesting human beings in bodybuilding, and he is just a very interesting and introspective individual in general, and somebody who I think that we could all really look up to in the bodybuilding world and as human beings. This is a military veteran who is very philosophical overall, very intelligent, is a critical thinker when it comes to the sport of bodybuilding, and could be and should be the crown jewel of the scientific-based lifting community that we see on TikTok. The science-based lifting community on TikTok has its little niche. And I think that if you really want to follow somebody who is in that niche and is following that niche at this point to forward his own career at the top of the bodybuilding world in classic physique, it would be Terrance Ruffin. It is Terrance Ruffin, and he is about the only one that follows into that very tight-knit niche, and that niche should dive straight into him as their king of science-based lifting, low volume, high intensity, high frequency stuff. And I am so happy that he is on social media, that he is doing a lot more when it comes to getting his face on there and just speaking. Because on social media, that's what plays. The speaking, getting in front of the camera, showing who you are as a personality. And man, he's doing that at a very high level, and he should blow up on social media sooner rather than later. It's amazing to me that there are people who are just finding out about him, but I think after he wins the Pittsburgh Pro and Classic, I really do think that his social media is going to explode.
Yo, this is 100% true. I can't tell you how many pros I've seen that, in my opinion, have better genetics than me, but can't keep it together up here, and they end up falling off. So train your mind, guys. Train it.
Getting that glimpse into the man that Terrance Ruffin is on top of the bodybuilder, and the access that we get to these athletes is my favorite part about bodybuilding outside of the being in the gym. Honestly, being in the gym is why I love it so much, and seeing what the human body is able to achieve. But the human side of it is so fascinating to me. But the freaks are as well. That is the reason why we all love bodybuilding. And when I talk about freaks, I talk about genetic freaks. And I think that there's a chance that Keone Pearson might have the greatest physique of all time. When you talk about the size, symmetry, density, maturity, detail that he has throughout his frame, dominating the 212 division right now, nobody's even close to him. I can't imagine this young man will not go up and compete and dominate top 1, top 2, top 3 in open bodybuilding. He's got the flow. The Derek Lunsford trajectory has already been seen. It has already been shown and proven that it can work, and yet you can go on to win an Olympia from 212. And Keone is somebody who can legitimately put weight on and still look absolutely outstanding. Like at 212, he is at his absolute limits of how low he is able to push his body weight. He looks so comfortable the way that he looks right now. And we have a special event coming up in Pittsburgh, because it is confirmed that Samson Dauda and Keone Pearson will be guest posing at the Pittsburgh Pro, which means they will stand on the same stage together. And this right now is what Keone Pearson is looking like. Bulked up, bigger in his off season right now, looking absolutely outrageous at the size he is at right now. I mean, we are talking about somebody who does not look far at all from stepping on a competitive open bodybuilding stage. And this is his off season. Is seriously, how special of a talent is Keone Pearson? And could he really step on stage at Pittsburgh and see himself beside Samson Dauda, beside the freakiest of the freaks, size-wise, and say, I can compete against that on an open bodybuilding stage in the next couple of years? Because I think that Keone is somebody who could go down as the greatest bodybuilder of all time. Now, he won't win as many open Olympia championships as Ronnie or Arnold. But man, between the 212 and that, he will have the most Olympias of all time, if you ask me. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support that you give the channel. Make sure that you guys are smashing the subscribe button. Make sure that you guys are smashing the like button, and leave your comments below. Let me know how you think the Pittsburgh Pro is going to go. I think it's the second biggest show of the year behind the Olympia. And I know that the Arnold has a lot more juice to it when it comes to the name and the history of it. But this Pittsburgh Pro lineup, this Pittsburgh Pro guest posing lineup is outstanding. You also have Anton making his pro appearance here. I think that this is going to be the second best show of the year, and I cannot wait for everybody to step on stage in Pittsburgh. I love you guys. Goodbye.